What is cracking, guys? We're back for part 3 of the Madden 15 talk, along with some C4 gameplay from Madden 25. This is actually all my divisional opponents in this game video right here. So you'll see a lot of Bengals, you'll see the Browns, you'll see the Ravens all twice. So definitely some good games, no doubt. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about in this video the Madden 15 demo. Some pretty crazy news dropped today. There's probably not going to be a demo, and I'll talk about some of the responses with that, as well as the EA Early Access on Xbox One. And then we'll also, again, like I mentioned last time, talk about some tips for you guys when entering a franchise, or whenever you're in a franchise or connected franchise mode or career mode, or whatever the case may be, anything like that, where you're going to be playing opponents multiple times, or when there's going to be a playoff system or something like that. So any kind of format where you're playing for the long run, any kind of format like that, hopefully these tips will be able to help you out. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. As well as there's also a new capture device that dropped today. Not sure when it's going to be in stores, but it is officially out now, and that is the Game Capture HD 60. So a lot to talk about, and we do have a decent amount of time, so hopefully nothing to get too rushed. Let's go ahead and dive straight into it. First, let's go ahead and talk about the Game Capture HD 60 and why I'm very excited for this product, and why others of you may not necessarily be excited for this product. So let's go ahead and dive straight into why you may not want this product. First off, if you're already on PC and you already have good streaming stuff, and you got like XSplit and OBS and other programs like that, if you're still on Gen 3 and you have not moved over to Gen 4, I wouldn't recommend getting this product, because this product is pretty much designed for the Xbox One and the PS4. It works with the 360 as well, but it doesn't look like it's going to work with the PS3. And it pretty much, you're only going to get real benefits from it if you are on Gen 4. So what does the product do that's a little bit different than the regular Game Capture HD, which is, to me, has been the best capture card since it released, and with the best software and all that good stuff. The big difference is going to be 1080p 60 frames per second. That's what the HD 60 is going to bring to you. And that's really the major difference as far as recording. I mean, again, the Game Capture HD, still a great recording device, still records in 1080, still gets pretty much all those features that you get in the software, if you do use the actual software that comes with it. However, the HD 60 is now going to give you the ability to use a face cam, and that's huge for guys that are on Macs. Specifically. So this is specifically going to be Mac related, because again, like I said, if you're on PC and you got XSplit and you got all those other programs that you can use to get high quality streaming, it won't be as big of a deal. Now, if you are on PC and you don't have the best PC, and maybe your computer struggles to run XSplit with HD, then maybe this actually still helps you out. But nonetheless, it will give you the ability to use a face cam and also a overlay. So those are the two major things with any stream that's going to be different from any others. I mean, everybody can figure out how to get music going. Everybody can pretty much figure out how to get audio and get the game going. That's something we could already do with Game Capture, even with the software that came with that. But overlays and face cam is something that you were unable to do with the regular Game Capture HD and its software. So the HD 60 brings that, and that's going to be the biggest difference between the two. 30 frames per second to 60 is nice and everything, but it's not going to be super huge, and I'm not sure that YouTube supports 60 frames per second yet. I know that they're working towards getting to that, but at this moment it doesn't. I don't, to my knowledge, know that it does. But so that's the real major difference. Is going to be the stream effect. So if you're on a Mac and you're strictly Mac and you don't have a PC like I am at this moment, then it's going to be a great upgrade for you. Otherwise, it may not be. Now, That's enough on that. Definitely, you can check it out. I think it might be exclusive at Best Buy. I'm not sure entirely, but I don't know that it's in stores right now because it just came out today. And I know when we say it came out today, it should be in stores, but I mean, it just got released info-wise that it's out today. So I don't know how long it'll be till they're actually in the stores and you can buy them, but definitely something to be on the lookout for. Now, next big piece of information is going to be the Madden 15 demo. There's a 99.9% chance that the demo is not coming out. It was confirmed that it's not coming out by Andrew Johnson, who works with EA. So, you know, it's looking like there's not going to be a demo, not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not at all. So that is huge, huge news right there. I mean, I know we were all looking forward to a demo. Everybody was excited for a demo. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the negatives of there being no demo. First off, if you're still on PS3 or Xbox 360, you haven't really gotten to see anything besides the game features for your game on the console that you're on, because everything that's been released has either been Xbox One or PS4. So that's the first major drawback for you guys, is that you have not had the opportunity to see anything really. Are the graphics better on Gen 3 than, you know, 25, and are they going to have all those features on the old gen that they will have on the current gen? And a bunch of questions like that that you guys will have that will not be answered at this moment. Perhaps EA will give out some more information in relation to that, but at this moment you guys are kind of, you know, you don't know everything yet. So that's a really big bummer for you guys. Now, another big bummer is that of course, everybody wants to practice. Everybody wants to get used to the new game. Everybody wants to get that, you know, one up on the competition. Everybody wants to get the chance to just try out the game, see how it plays, see if it's better, see if it's really a true upgrade, see if it's worth buying. And there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of 50-50 if they want to get it or not, that are now not going to get that opportunity. So that's a real big drawback right there. Now, the next thing I'll say is kind of related to the EA Early Access, which is basically you get access to all the games, but it's only on Xbox One. Not the PS4, not the 360, not the PS3, but just Xbox One. EA made that deal with them, and Sony was not happy about that either. But regardless, if you're on Xbox One, you know, it's a good thing for you that you may get some early access to the game. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, but according to some sources and what I've read, you're going to get 5 days early access to Madden 15 and other EA titles, and I believe it's on Xbox One, and it's about $5 a month or $30 and then $5 a month after that. I don't know how exactly it works, but it's something around that range, or something like that pretty much. So, you know, it's definitely a good deal with that program, because you get other games free like Battlefield 4, you get, you know, Madden 25, the older FIFA, and there's a bunch of older games that are on there, and I'm sure they'll update newer games as well. And it'll be a good deal for you, and you get discounts if you buy MUT packs and things like that. So, you know, overall it's definitely a good bargain if you take advantage of it. And oh my gosh, that reaction was so terrible. But overall it's definitely a good thing if you do have it and you take advantage of it. But with that being said, the only people who are going to have the ability to play Madden early are going to be the people that are on Xbox One with the EA Early Access. And that's kind of a real big bummer. Big shot. A lot of people are very disappointed, myself included, in that aspect of things. And you know, it's just very unfortunate. But you know, looks like we will all be waiting until August 26th, and for the Xbox One guys will be 21st. I do have an Xbox One. I may open it up on the 20th on my birthday and go ahead and get the early access around then. But until that time, I'll still have my Xbox One in the box. I've just been waiting for Madden 15. But what is the positives? I know there's not a lot from there being no demo, but there, to me, could be a couple positives. And I'll just share them with you guys. You know, you can take it with a grain of salt. You can agree or choose to disagree. These are just my opinions. But some of the good things that'll come from there not being a demo is, one, if people are finding glitchy stuff and posting it on YouTube on the demo, you know, maybe that stuff won't necessarily get out as quickly, or you know, those word of mouth won't spread as fast. There won't be a million people trying to just get the first video up of Madden 15. And there's often some junk videos that are put up early whenever there's a demo. Guys just literally just taking 2 minutes to put together a video on something that doesn't work, or just trying to get anything that they can up, and it'll eliminate that. The next thing, again, like I said, it'll eliminate some of those things like turbo blitzing and things like that getting posted right away, because everybody wants to be the first person to post something that works. So that nano blitzing and rocket catching and, you know, all those little gimmicky type things, which are cool and which will probably be found over the course of the year, but you know, it won't be before the game drops. And then those guys that didn't really watch YouTube videos and just kind of play the demo to themselves, when you go into those ranked matches, you probably won't have to deal with as much stuff in the early stages of the game. So that's one thing I could say would be on the positive side. And then it's kind of like everybody's starting on the even playing field. So, you know, that's the way you could take it as a positive. But the biggest positive to me, those are kind of like really, really little things that I'm not too worried about. But the real major thing that I think, and hopefully this is the case, I'm going to give you the counter argument as well, but hopefully the case is that they're just continuing to work on the game. Instead of taking the time and effort to actually put together a demo, get it out for everybody, something that doesn't have any glitches, any bugs, and it's something that's going to, you know, represent the real product, the final product, as it should. Instead of that, they devoted that attention and those resources into, you know, making the game better. That to me would be the biggest thing, and the biggest thing that would make me happy, and that I would not be upset at this point. Because if you have played Battlefield 4 like I have, and you kind of understand how everything went down with that, and how it was kind of rushed and everything, and we pretty much got shipped an incomplete game. I'm not saying 2 weeks and, you know, dedicating those resources to a demo is going to make that big of a difference, but if it helps to give us a more complete finished product, then I'm all for it. And you know, we won't have to worry about, you know, missing players on the field and things like that when the game finally drops. That'll be really big, and that'll be good, and we'll be a little bit more satisfied once the final product is shipped out and done and we go ahead and get it. So that's the big thing right there, is that, you know, hopefully that's the case. Now, the counter argument to this for sure, and this is one that I've heard, and I think I could buy this as well. You know, that's the last one I gave you is kind of my positive spin on it. Now, the negative spin could be that EA is looking just to get more money for the early access from the Xbox One guys. And again, while the older consoles are getting screwed over, as well as the PS4, you know, it's a way for them to try and get more money for the early access, which I could buy. But, you know, hopefully I'm hoping that it's the case that they're looking for improving and not having to waste those resources on getting a demo. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And that's all I'm pretty much going to say about there not being a demo. And, you know, I'll just leave it at that. To finish the video up, I'll go ahead and give you guys some tips on how I like to kind of improve in a season or a franchise, and how to succeed in a franchise versus quick matches and head-to-head. I talked about it a little bit last time about how you get to try your scheme out against people that kind of know what you're doing. So the first thing I'll say is that if you're in a connected franchise, you know, ask around the league about what somebody's doing. If you're really struggling, or if you really want to get that edge up on your opponent, you know, guys are usually open, you know, especially if somebody's just abusing one thing, like all this guy does is strong power for Madden 25, for example. So, you know, going into the game, you would have a really good idea of what they're going to do. I ran strong power a lot. As you can see, Bell is getting some crazy numbers over these games. But, yeah, just something like that could be very helpful to you. Another thing that people don't take advantage of that I feel that they should is season stats. You can tell so much about your opponent just from season stats. Like, you can tell how much they pass, how much they run. You know, if there's a quarterback, he has 10 passing attempts on the season, and you're in week 6, chances are this guy runs the ball 99% of the time. So things like that you can definitely pick up on. You can also look at, Well, do they got a lot of sacks? Do they got a lot of fumbles? Do they got a lot of, this, a lot of that? Because, I mean, typically if they have a lot of sacks, they're probably running blitzes. If they have, maybe a lot of interceptions, but they don't have really any sacks, maybe they're running coverage defense. Who knows? But, it's a little something that can maybe give you a slight edge to the type of opponent that you're going to be facing in an upcoming game, especially if it's an opponent that you need to win, or especially going into the playoffs. And that brings me to my next point of kind of feeling opponents out. You'll notice in this one, I got flooded by the Ravens the first game, and then we went ahead and we're go ahead and giving him the beat down this game. But there's going to be games you're going to lose. There's going to be a lot of games you're going to win, hopefully. And it's really just about learning, adapting, figuring out what worked for you, what didn't, what you need to change up, all that good stuff. And also just sometimes you just want to feel someone out, especially if it's somebody that is one of the best players in the league, or one of the guys you're going to for sure see in the playoffs. Maybe you don't want to run 100% of your stuff. Maybe you want to leave, 1 or 2 or, maybe 5 plays in your back pocket, so that when you do face them in the playoffs, it's something that you can do and kind of surprise them. They'll be expecting you to do what you did in the last game, and while you will do some of that, you'll also be mixing in some of the stuff that you left, which is what I did to somebody else, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So that's definitely one of the things you can take advantage of as well, as far as succeeding in the franchise. Is just, whenever you're playing those guys you expect to meet in the Super Bowl or in the conference championship, divisional, whatever, anytime in the playoffs, those guys, you definitely want to hold a little bit back, and also try out a lot of different things when you play them, especially if you play them twice during the year, or let's say you're 14-1 and they're your last game of the season. This is just hypothetical, but let's just say they're the last game of the season. You don't need to win the game. It's not going to affect your playoff spot, or maybe it changes your playoff spot by 1, and you still get that bye, and the only difference is who gets home field. And at this moment, home field isn't a super huge advantage, so why not try them out, feel what they're doing, see what they like to do, see what they like to go to, and feel them out. And also at the same time, try a bunch of different things out. Maybe try some screens, try some different runs, try a few different things out. That way you can kind of get a feel for what works against them, what doesn't, and you'll hopefully be able to have a lot more success against them when you do meet them in the must-win game, the playoffs, the Super Bowl, whatever the case may be. So that's definitely one thing I do in franchise. I think of long-term versus short-term. I don't worry too much about one game. It's a season. You got 16 games to do what you got to do to get your spot in the playoffs, to make sure that you are where you need to be, and try to get that first-round bye, of course, is always helpful. You want to play as few games as possible in the playoffs, just because anything can happen in any game. You can fumble like crazy, quarterback could throw crazy passes, whatever. So if you could get that bye, go ahead and do that. So that's just my philosophy going into a season, or a connected franchise mode, or anything where it's really going to be a season type feel. And that's something that I always use and try to take advantage of, because I feel like as long as I get to the playoffs and then I have a chance to feel out my opponent, and I didn't give them 100% chance of what I'm going to really be doing, it's going to give me a huge advantage when we get into the playoffs. Is it going to guarantee a win? No. But if I could give myself a 10-30% chance increase of winning the game, why not? Why not take advantage of that? So that's pretty much that there. And that's pretty much all I have for that topic, as far as approaching the season as a long thing. Now the last thing I'll talk about is running the same thing against a bunch of different people. So over the course of the year, people are going to talk about what you do. People are going to talk to each other. They're going to look at your season stats. They're going to do those things that I already talked about. And they're going to pretty much try to lock in on you and figure out what you're trying to do and, stop it. So you're going to face some people that are going to blitz you like crazy. Some people are going to play coverage against you. Some people are going to mix it up. Some people are going to run man. Some people are going to run zone. And that'll definitely help you out for quick matches, quick games, and all that stuff. And it'll also help you out for playing against different people, because it'll just give you different feels, different styles to play against, and it'll push you to basically improve yourself offensively and defensively, because you're going to have to stop different things. You're going to have success on offense against different things, and it's going to hopefully put you outside of your comfort zone. The further they push you outside of the comfort zone, the further that they push you to basically adapt, to change, to react, to make reactions, and to make those adjustments, those key adjustments. It's going to really help you out in the long run in just being an overall better Madden player. Your adjustment skills will improve. Your user skills, kind of know what you want to guard, what you want to cover on the field, those types of things will all get better over the course of the season, and just playing seasons in general. And then you also got the fun stuff of selling tickets and things like that you can worry about. But mostly, just as far as having success, those are the things I would try to get out of a season. And I try to, every time I get into a franchise or something like that, take advantage of all these little things that I've talked about, because I feel like it helps me as a player for sure, and it's something that has helped me over my career at Madden, of just becoming a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And it's not going to just turn you from a good to a great player, but sometimes it can. Sometimes playing 2 or 3 guys that run something really weird or tricky on defense, and then having success against them could be that small spark you needed to take your game to the next level. And it's definitely something I would recommend you try out. Definitely something that could help you out in the long course, and maybe just make you a better overall Madden player for the next few years, not just the current system, and you'll just kind of learn how to play Madden in general. But this video is coming to a close. I hope you guys enjoyed everything I had to say. If you did, feel free to leave a like. It's your boy Monster Chappie. Until the next time, we gone.